Alright, this is going to be the tutorial for how to get started with your movie posters. So, you want to open up your folder with all of your images that you want to use. And, basically today we're just going to start with designing your movie posters. I tried my best, but I can't find the sketch that I originally did my movie poster on. But I do kind of remember what the sketch had. Basically, I was going to use this as my bottom of the page, or like in the middle of my page. I was going to use this image of the tiger roaring here, and I was going to use another image where he was. It didn't pop up on the on here. I was going to use like another image where he's like kind of fighting, and then like the tiger and the the guy, the main character in the story. Yeah, they're kind of having like a head-to-head combat, because like most of like the story was about like him being on a boat and just dealing with the struggle with living with this tiger on the boat, and trying to basically survive out in the open sea. So that's kind of how I want to do my movie posters. So in order to get started, I would just start off with your background image. This is going to be the main background image that I want to use. So I'm just going to click and drag this onto Photoshop, and it's going to load it up. So just remember, real important, make sure you get a high-res image. So this is at 33%, but if I were to zoom in closer, this would be at 100%. So it's like a really big image that I'm using here. Alright, so you're going to start out with your background image, and basically the way to start off is you're going to think about how you want to crop this image. So you're going to click on this crop tool, and I would change the background to white. Alright, but basically, you want to resize the image, because we're not doing it the long hot dog way for your movie posters. We're going to do it the tall way. So you got to make your image a little bit taller, and like this is a pretty good length. So you want to basically make it look like a tall poster. That's the main goal. And this is just to help to resize your image. And we do have to put this image on a completely different layer, so you can just duplicate the layer. That's going to make it easier. So we duplicate the layer, then you can, or you know what, let's not duplicate the layers. Let's make things complicated. So, so basically we got to cut this image out of the background. So we're going to do Command A as in Apple, and Command X as in Xerox, and then do Command V, and that's going to put this in a completely separate layer. Oh, you know what might be easier? Okay, we'll just delete this layer, and we're just going to drag another image on here. We're going to drag this image back again. Okay, but because you want to have like the image by itself in the background. Alright, so now we have this image that we're using for your background. Like this is going to be kind of like the main image. Just make sure you leave on the bottom like room to add like credits. So we're going to put this like right about here on the picture. Now, this background doesn't fill up the entire picture. Alright, so you might have to do like kind of like a fade effect for the picture. But, I do want to use, similar colors. That's for the background. So like it's got this really nice yellow. So I'm using the eyedrop tool, and I'm just eyedropping the yellow. And then you want to click on your background, and I'm just going to use that same yellow for the background. Alright, but basically at this point, we're just placing these images. We're gonna like work on how to make this kind of fade in with the background later. So we have this picture here, and then this is actually like these two images a little bit better. Like one where he's looking at him, kind of like angry like, and this one's kind of like the tiger roaring. So let's just grab this image here. Originally I wanted to use the image of him with the axe, but I think this one actually works a little bit better. Oh, you know what? You want to actually okay, so it's just like the last project that we did, where basically you want to have this on a separate window. So I just dragged this to the PS. It opened a different window. So my first window is right here where my movie poster is, and this is the other window where I'm going to edit that. So you want to use the marquee tool, click and drag, only select the parts that you need. That way, your image won't be super big when you resize it. And then we're going to do Command C, or you can do Command X. Command X will cut it out. Command X is Xerox, and then Command V to paste. So there's going to be a lot of copy and pasting that you're going to be doing. And once you move this image over, you're going to hit Command T as in turtle to resize your image. And just remember to click and drag with the the Shift key to make sure it's the same orientation, because you don't want to stretch and skew the your image. And if you need to flip things over, you just flip it over to the side. The only thing is, if you flip it over, you got to just try your best to make sure the size is correct. Alright, but I want to place like him up here in the picture. Alright, and then once we place him up there, then we're just gonna do like the actually, before I even place him up there, let's cut him out of the picture. So it's just like what we did before. You would do the direct selection tool, have it on the plus, and you're going to just select him in the image. Just make sure you're on the correct layer. So I'm on the layer with the picture of him. And it's just like how we did with the movie scene. You're just going to be selecting the areas that you want to cut out in the picture. So just remember the minus is going to deselect. So I don't really need that part. I only want him in the picture. And I'm just deselect this little part right here because you don't really need that one. I'm going to reselect this. So, the more time you take on this part, the easier the cutting out will be. And you notice that in this separate layer, though, this is the only layer with the picture of him. So it's only selecting parts of this picture here. Alright, so this is actually pretty good. I'm going to deselect some of this hair here. Oh, maybe not. Let me reselect it again. Alright, just remember when you're doing hair, you want to select the shape of the hair. You don't gotta worry about these little strands, because we're going to click on this refine edge tool, refine edge, and this is going to help to refine those edges a little bit more. So like right here, I'm just clicking to refine these edges, especially around the hair. You want to refine those edges on the hair because you want to get those individual strands of hair. Otherwise, you're going to have to manually do it into Photoshop if it doesn't work. Alright, so like right here, some of these parts I gotta manually erase, like this part here. I had to manually erase. I'm not able to clean that out. But the refine edge does it does most of the work for you already. That part I gotta clean up a little bit more. This part I gotta clean up a little bit more.